Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today it's something I've talked about before, but it bears repeating. We need to destroy these ideas of gerrymandered BS congressional districts. That needs to end. And you can see where the effects take place. Here is a pretty recent, it's up to date, drawing of Tennessee's federal congressional districts. Now, I want you to realize where the three big cities in Tennessee exist. And you can see them by the way the districts are drawn. It shows you how gerrymandering rigs the system. Because if you look over here in the first district, they just capture the counties. They don't divide it up that much at all. It's clean. You look down here in the third district, it's just the counties. But when you get here, well, the third district, the upper part of it, there's no need for this. But it's gerrymandered. The bottom part of the third district, clean. Top part, you'll notice this is where they cut counties in half. Why not take the rest of this county as blue, hand this one over, and turn this one either red or tan? But no, because why? This area is one of the three big metropolitan areas of Tennessee, namely Knoxville. You notice how clean the rest of these areas are? They just follow counties. But when you get into the metropolitan areas here, which tells us a whole lot about why the districts were divvied up, why, even though she almost won the district, it was rigged against her through gerrymandering. Because these divided up areas here, this is Nashville. Even this district, which a Democrat manages to win, despite the gerrymandering, despite the way it's divided up among counties, the bullshit, it's because it's Memphis. So you can see the smaller areas, no problem doing counties, doing things genuinely decent. But when you get up to these weird exceptions, these big metropolitan cities where normally a Republican would get their ass kicked, it's gerrymandered all the fuck. Which means, honestly, if things were done decently, we would probably see 3 or 4 Democratic districts in Tennessee alone. But because of gerrymandering, that's not the case. But this isn't just to beat up on Republicans, because Democrats are guilty of gerrymandering too. Again, fucking dislike Democrats with a passion, but I goddamn despise Republicans. Both parties are shit. It's just one does nothing and the other purposely goes out of its way to hurt you. So yeah, and gerrymandering is the tool they use. It's something that's been around since the creation of the new Constitution, because it's like, hey, let's draw these districts to favor our party, because partisan politics, it's not a new goddamn thing. It's been around for a long fucking while. And so we still use this bullshit tactic called gerrymandering. And it needs to cease. Let's look at some more examples here. This is from fulcrum.us, thefulcrum.us. The worst congressional gerrymanders of the 2020s. Salt Lake City. Biggest metropolitan area in Utah. Yet, it is divided up so that there is no true Democratic stronghold, despite the fact that Salt Lake City itself went for Joe Biden by double digits in 2020. And the state often elected a Democratic lawmaker to Congress. Not anymore. Gerrymandering. Lawmakers ignoring a statewide initiative that banned partisan gerrymandering sliced the county into 4 pieces, attached a section to each congressional district, and ensured a 4-0 GOP delegation, where it should probably be a 3-1. But again, rigging the game. Illinois. This is one of the worst gerrymandered districts I have ever fucking seen. Or not districts, states in general. Because the closer you get to Chicago, the more populous the area, and it's all these little streaks. But this one is one in the middle of the fucking state. Just a long streak of land. Perhaps the most egregious Democratic drawn gerrymander on the current congressional map is in Illinois. Yep, like I said, Democrats are guilty of it too. The worst example is the 13th district, which connects disparate pockets of Democratic voters in Champaign, Urbana, Decatur, Springfield, and East St. Louis, and the district splits 6 counties, as well as multiple townships, cities, and even precincts, contributing to a 14-3 Democratic edge in the state overall. And this is just showing why I feel the need that we absolutely must ban gerrymandering and put severe restrictions in its place of how districts must be fucking drawn. But yeah. Nashville. We already looked at Tennessee, but yeah, they're talking about it here, because this center of these districts, Nashville. But it's because they wanted to divide the power of the urban metropolis up, because they knew They goddamn know they have no actual true power there. Jacksonville, Florida, the northeastern corner of the state. Florida engaged in racial gerrymandering by eliminating a majority black district in northern Florida, drawing the significant black voting age populations in Tallahassee and Jacksonville with much redder neighboring areas to eliminate the ability of those black voters to elect their representative of choice. So again, it's rigged. Because people know we don't have a true ability to win there. And again, this is why we have these ugly ass fucking districts. And it needs to fucking end. North Carolina. Court approved cracking. This spot right here, Charlotte. So right above in the greater metropolitan area. In 2022, a state Supreme Court struck down a partisan gerrymander, putting in place a much fairer map. But the election of several Republicans to the court led that court to reverse itself just one fucking year later. It's all partisan bullshit, and that needs to be ended, goddammit. At that point, the legislature promptly passed a plan that will elect at least 10 Republicans out of 14 seats in a state that is actually divided 50-50, because this is about partisan bullshit instead of what it should be about, working for the fucking goddamn people, you fucks. Again, gerrymandering needs to be goddamn banned. There should be severe fucking restrictions. The 6th district is nestled between Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and Charlotte to create a safe Republican district. Yeah. Winston-Salem up here. Like I said, Charlotte down here. I think Greensboro right about here or so. But yeah. They divided up because they're like, hey, you divide the populations up, you can destroy any true power they have. Because they know if it was done fairly, they would get their asses goddamn handed to them. The efficiency gap in Ohio. A politician-based commission drew a map that could make as many as 13 out of 15 Ohio seats Republican. 13 out of 15. The 15th district tiptoes right up to Columbus, which, if you don't know Ohio, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland. There's a number of other big cities, Akron over here, and yeah. Let's see. And in the east, it dodges Springfield, and in the south, dodges Springfield in the south to create a safe Republican district. Which, you know, is bullshit, because look at all these little jagged bullshit lines, these little points. I guarantee you, if we saw a county map, it would cut the counties all the fuck up, because it's, again, what? Bullshit! Houston, Texas. It is impossible to pick one favorite district in the Houston area, which has expanded in several directions with burgeoning Asian and Hispanic populations. The Partisan Redistricting Commission has managed to pack heavily Democratic communities into the 7th, 9th, 18th, and 29th district, thus allowing the nearby 2nd and 38th districts to be safely Republican. Because again, why? If it was done fairly, their asses would get handed to them. Again, both parties are guilty of this bullshit and it needs to fucking goddamn end. Indianapolis, Indiana. Republicans sealed a 7-2 edge in Indiana and turned a closely contested seat in Indianapolis into a safe GOP district by packing Democratic pieces of Marion County into the already safe 7th district. George Washington University political scientist Chris Warshaw called the map one of the most extreme gerrymanders in history. Like I said, a lot of what happens, goddamn fucking bullshit. Nevada, Las Vegas. Yeah, Las Vegas is down here toward the bottom of the state. Nevada Democrats used highways as artificial boundaries to distribute Hispanic voters between two districts, giving them partisan influence, but removing their ability to vote as a unified group. The northern boundary of Nevada's 1st district goes right through heavily Hispanic areas of greater Las Vegas. Yeah, again, both fucking parties guilty of this goddamn sin that needs to fucking end. Snaking through northern Illinois. Right here. Look at this district. Look how bullshit it fucking is. But we go on and on. Northern Illinois, Dallas, Texas area. Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah, look at that bullshit. San Antonio to Austin. Look at this little bitty strip. Dishonorable mentions how Oklahoma City is divided up in the state of Oklahoma, Portland in the state of Oregon, Raleigh in the state of North Carolina, and perhaps the entire maps of Alabama and Arizona. Like I said, such fucking bullshit. It needs to goddamn fucking end. Let's look at this. This is from gerrymander.princeton.edu redistricting report card. We get to see how these states are graded by how they redistrict their districts. Your best gets an A, which is the green. Your better than average with some bias is the yellow, which is a B. Your average is a C, that's orange. And then, of course, poor is the D, and F, your reds. Notice, fucking notice, how much of the deep red Republican areas are some of the worst goddamn gerrymandered. But that doesn't disclude Democrats. Illinois, baby, one of the worst. Oregon, one of the worst. But you all also have some states that are in good shape. Which Montana, what are you going to do? It's 2 districts. You got the edge, and then you got the rest of the state. But yeah. But what I want to talk about, showing you all these horrible distinctions. See if it'll let us close up some of the maps. Yeah, it does. Look at that. You get to see the maps by the districts. Yeah. Ohio's one of the worst. Here's my home state, Virginia. It's supposed to be one of the best, although we're looking at redoing our map because bitch-ass Republicans are like, let's redistrict, give not in more places. And Virginia's like, well, fuck you. We're going to do redistricting too, you little fucks. See, it was supposed to be fairly divided. There's a lot more little corners than I prefer, but for the most part, it's pretty clean. You look at these places. The 2nd District of Virginia, it's split between Democratic and Republican share. 50.56 Democrat, 49.44% Republican, and it's not even dark blue districted, it's light blue, which means just leaning Democrat. And yeah, again here, Democrats have the smaller portion, Republicans the higher portion, and guess what? Republican district. It's not divided into the bullshit. You start looking at all these districts and you notice this. But because the Republicans are such whiny cunts, yeah, we get this attempted war of redistricting states. And it's bullshit. Fuck goddamn gerrymandering. And here's what I propose, since we have looked at some of these states. I propose an amendment or law, one goddamn way or the other, where districts cannot cut counties. If not that, then your districts can only be square as they can be. You can change size, location, but you cannot make it these weird ass fucking stupid looking goddamn things. Those are your 2 options, I think, that would best resolve this. But I know there's too many goddamn whiners who say, well, just give the other... Fuck you! No more goddamn gerrymandering. Fuck gerrymandering. Stop it with that goddamn shit. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end this video. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting these links to sources in the description box below the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.